Today we're talking with Dr. Lauren Wilmott with Alpine Chiropractic, located in Southeast Boise. This is the Boise Wellness Podcast, where we talk to health and wellness professionals in the Treasure Valley, trying to give you a comfortable, easy introduction to who people are. Hey, Dr. Lauren, welcome to the podcast.
Thank you.
We're excited to have you. Thank you for saying yes to this opportunity. As we get going here, what I wanted to know was you're working at Alpine Chiropractic.
Yes.
How did you end up there? What has been your journey to being at Alpine?
Oh, where should I start? Well, I moved to Boise in early 2023. I was actually still in school and doing my internship locally here. And I just fell in love with Boise and the Greenbelt and Bogus Basin, mountain biking, you name it. I knew that I wanted to stay here and have my own practice. So I transitioned into Alpine Chiropractic and took over in 2023. And here I am. I absolutely love the Southeast Boise community. And it's been such a blessing to get to work with all of the local families there.
Nice. I noticed on your website, you talked a lot about doing pediatric care, and then care for the whole family kind of revolves around that. How did you end up in that sphere?
Let's see. I think it was during chiropractic school that we took our first pediatric class. And for some reason, it just really spoke to me. Like, if we can prevent some of these patterns and some of this pain and this, misalignment as early as birth, infancy, childhood, we can create healthier adults and healthier families. And then all of those patterns might not be passed down to the generation. I see so many families that come in with the same thing, like everyone has that right hip pain. Everyone has like that shoulder tension. And it's like, we're really passing things down as families. So what if we get to the root cause, which is children as they're growing up?
So what does that look like? Age-wise, are you seeing babies right after they're born? And then just all the way through, like, are you classifying pediatrics all the way through 18? How do you look at that?
I do see babies as soon as they're born, whenever mom is ready to bring them in, whether that be like a home visit on day one or whether that's a week out, I see babies.
Okay.
It helps with issues such as latching and sleeping and pooping, all of that stuff.
The important stuff.
And then, as far as pediatrics are concerned, I would consider it, what we're focused on as a newborn is different than what we're focused on as a teenager who's in their AP classes and studying all the time and suddenly in sports and trying to get sleep and all that good stuff. So.
Yeah, definitely different stresses through the different stages of life for sure.
Yeah.
So with Alpine Chiropractic specifically, are there any like special philosophical models that you're following, testing practices that make you distinct maybe from another clinic?
I practice very nervous system based. So we're checking the whole body every visit. Just because sometimes something's coming from somewhere else and you don't realize it. I'm sure you see this in your practice too, where maybe the neck's a little bit off and then, your mid-back is kind of trying to compensate for that. And so your hips are a little bit unbalanced and you come in with the hip pain, but maybe it's really your neck that's talking. So my approach is I tell people, hey, we're going to check everything. We're going to, kind of head to toe, see what's going on, get that nervous system relaxed, and kind of go from there. I incorporate a little bit of muscle work, but really we're focused on just doing kind of a holistic check of the entire body. I have trained in the Webster Technique, which is a technique of balancing and adjusting the pelvis. You look at bone, muscle, and ligament. So it's really a 360 of the pelvis. And I think that's one of the things that I like best about what I do is I, specialize in pregnancy. That's what the Webster Technique is. It's for pregnancy, but you can use it on anybody. I have older men who come in and we're checking the front of the pelvis. We're checking the hip flexors. We're seeing if those are tight. We're checking all of these ligaments. And, I get these texts weekly, like, you're a miracle worker. Yeah. I don't know what you did, but like my hips feel great. And so I think those are the things that define me is I practice the Webster Technique. So I love the 360 view of the pelvis. It works wonders for all walks of life. And I take a nervous system based holistic approach. So we're looking at the whole body every visit. Even if, there's no pain or symptoms there, I still want to know what's going on there because it might be contributing and we don't even know it.
I love that. I love taking that view of the whole human being, despite what the one complaint might be. I think that's super, super important.
And because the other thing I see is, maybe like you got a really hot low back. Low back is super painful. We adjust it. Maybe some pain goes away and we make it up to your neck and you're like, you know what? I've been so focused on my low back pain that I forgot my neck also hurt. Yeah. So that's another reason sometimes you're tuned out of things and we want you to tune back into your body. So taking a look at the whole thing it serves you more than you might think.
So if I walk into your clinic and first time that I've ever met you, what does that first visit look like? And then what do the next visits look like after that?
Yeah. I set aside 45 minutes for the initial visit. I like to have a lengthy conversation about what's going on, why are you here, what are these symptoms preventing you from doing? Because my goal, I want you to get back to doing what you love to do without the pain that you have been feeling that's probably been holding you back a little bit. For some people, it's gardening or bike riding or holding their kids. And so we talk a lot about that. I like to know health history, supplements. I have a background in biochemistry and medicinal chemistry research. So
nice.
I nerd out a little bit on the supplements. I love to hear about what it is and what you're taking and how it's serving you. And just kind of go wherever that conversation takes us. And then I tell you, we're going to go head to toe today. We're going to take a look at the whole body. And then I talk through my first adjustment. Even if you've been adjusted before, you might not know exactly what you're expecting from me. And my objective here is keeping your nervous system calm and focused and, no surprises. So you know exactly when there might be a little force applied. You know exactly when you may or may not be hearing some pops. If there's a more gentle way to go about it, I'll tell you that. There's more gentle ways to go about just about anything. So this first visit is really about us finding our groove together as chiropractor and client, and finding a way to adjust you that serves your nervous system well. Whether that's, a little heavier on some muscle work or ligament work and a little bit lighter on the, force application of the chiropractic adjustment. Or if we're going with the drop table or activator, we find that balance, and that's just why it takes us a little longer.
Okay.
The second visit, when you come in, I set aside about 25 to 30 minutes for that visit because I want to hear what happened after this first adjustment? Did you sleep really well? Were you a little bit sore, but you felt like you had a better range of motion? And just all the little things that you might not even think about after adjustment. I'll tell you to look out for them, and I want to hear about them on your second visit.
Gotcha.
And then with some people, we will stay at that 25-minute visit for a little while, just while we continue to learn how we work together. But ultimately, most people, a 15-minute adjustment is just about perfect.
Okay.
We learn each other well enough where that we can move at that pace. And
just the quick tune-up as they walk.
Yeah. Yeah. And I don't know if I would describe it as quick. I think people appreciate that they don't feel rushed with the 15 minutes, even if it sounds quick. But yeah, the tune-ups where we can work efficiently within that time.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
I like that. So, more personally for you, in balancing your professional life with self-care, what sort of things are you into outside of the clinic?
Yeah, outside of the clinic, I love mountain biking. I love skiing. I live right on the Greenbelt, so I love to just hop on the Greenbelt and head down to Green Acres. Have you been to Green Acres?
I have not been to Green Acres.
Okay. Well, it's great. I love that they just have live music and all sorts of food trucks. But I guess the biggest thing that's going on in my personal life is we're building out our camper van right now. So it's
nice.
Yeah, it's taking quite a bit of time.
Vehicle?
Our adventure vehicle, yeah. Nice. I love camping and getting away on the weekends. There's so much to explore out in Idaho, which is part of the reason I love it here and decided to stay here. So we're just building a little camper van to be able to explore that more.
What's the next thing on the list for the adventure you go on?
Oh, I don't know. I haven't really spent that much time in McCall.
Okay.
So it might be a McCall or maybe the Sand Dunes.
Bruno?
Yeah,
Bruno?
I haven't been there yet either. There's a lot to explore. We love Stanley. That's probably where we've been to the most is Stanley.
Absolutely beautiful.
Yeah.
Well, I think this is going to be my final question for you. But in health and wellness, there's always changing things. So nutrition's always changing. The way that we might emphasize certain parts of exercise is changing all the time. Are there things that you see right now that you're excited about and might cause you to think, oh yeah, these things are coming down the road and I'm probably changing this direction? That's a hard question to just jump into.
That's a loaded question because I think there's so much that I'm excited about right now. I think there's a lot coming out about nutrition especially. And I don't really have a stance yet because I'm still getting a hold of all the research that's coming out. But it's interesting what's coming out about the seed oils, and because I grew up margarine is your best friend. Yeah. And it's it's low fat, it's great. But now it's well, no, those are super inflammatory omega-6s and you should never put them in your body. So I'm excited about that transition.
Is that something you incorporate a lot with maybe your day-to-day conversations with people as you talk through problems?
Yeah, like I said, I like to know what you're doing supplements-wise. And for the people who are open to talking more about supplements, I do offer supplements in the office. And I tell people if you're going to get on one, make it magnesium. If you're going to get on two supplements, make it magnesium and omega-3s.
Okay.
So we're definitely a lot of conversation about those omega-3s. Super good for your brain, super good for systemic inflammation.
When you're talking about the omega-3s, are you normally recommending just a fish oil capsule, or is there something that you think works better than that?
I like the fish oil capsules.
Okay.
I think they need to be sourced super well, though, because maybe a controversial opinion, you're not supposed to get fish burps from your omega supplement. If it's good quality enough and pure enough, you should not even be like smelling fish. There should be no hint of fish.
Gotcha.
So we definitely talk about like the quality of the supplement maybe matters more than whether you're taking the supplement, if that makes sense.
Sure. Gotcha. If your body's able to handle it, process it, do what it's supposed to with it. Because otherwise you're just sending it right on through, aren't you?
Absolutely.
Well, I am super thankful that you came on our podcast today. It was enjoyable to get to know you a little bit, and we're excited to see what happens for you in the future.
Thank you. Thanks for having me.
Yeah, you're very welcome.
Hey, we hope you guys liked that show. If you're curious about any links to the professional we just interviewed, you can see that down below. But just a little bit about us. I'm one of the hosts, Craig Flood. I'm a local real estate agent and helps people with residential and commercial listings.
My name's Trevor Schmidt. I'm a physical therapist at Activated Movement Physical Therapy.
And we came together to make this podcast to help people here in the Treasure Valley find wellness professionals so that you guys can live a healthy and active lifestyle.